Welcome to the Almond Brief, brought to you by the team at Harris Wolf Almonds, your trusted source for the latest global almond market trends. Whether you're a grower or a buyer, we've got the insights that matter to you. The goal of this podcast is to deliver information in a clear, concise, and speedy manner. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. If you have any questions or comments, drop them below. We love hearing from you. Without further delay, let's jump right in.
Welcome back to the Almond Brief, brought to you by Harris Wolf Almonds. Chase Higginbotham here and Kevin Souza here to bring you the latest industry updates. Not quite the latest. We are lagging a little behind on getting this podcast out. We are operating this on a shoestring budget. This is filmed, produced, edited by the sales team and grower team. So we had a pretty busy week last week. We had some board meetings for the company. And then, of course, we had our large grower appreciation luncheon out at the Harris Ranch restaurant. I do want to take a moment to thank all the growers that were able to join us. Had some great food, great speakers, and it was very good to see everybody. So with that, Kev, I think we'll dive into the numbers.
Let's do it.
Take a quick look. We keep reiterating some of these numbers just really aren't that relevant this time of year. One of those being the crop receipts. This late in the year, they're just continuing to trickle in. But just to touch on it briefly, year to date, we're now at 2.71 billion pounds in receipts. Still right in line with expectation. Nothing really gonna change the world there. So I think we'll move on to the shipments. So we've had some pretty good performances there on the shipping side year to date. This month landed at 212 million pounds. So a little shorter than what we've seen, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so going into this report, the expectations were 220, 230. So coming in at 212 was below that expectation, but not enough to where it really caused alarm or really changed much. The 212 versus 220 didn't have much of an effect.
Yeah, we missed that one slightly. Once again, the domestic shipments are a bit concerning.
Yeah, coming in at 51 million on the domestic side is one of the lowest or the lowest that we've seen all year. They continue to lag. We're hoping that it does pick up. We've been saying that, but we're starting to see, I think, is what's happening is it's just slow. So luckily, though, the export market has definitely picked up the slack, continues to pick up the slack. So let's be thankful for them.
Yeah, that's something we're going to continue to watch, keep an eye on it. At the end of the day, an almond sale, but that domestic market, is our largest portion of the industry and important to our business. So again, hopefully that turns the corner and it starts to carry its weight here going forward.
Hopefully.
Going into the sales, that one we missed by a little further. Once again, sales are pretty consistent year, month over month this year. This month is 89 million. First time we've seen double digits for a while.
That is the first curveball we've received in a long time. Yeah, to your point, well, one, May is typically a slow sales month. Last year was 134 million. So 89 million was off from that. Just based on what we've been seeing going up, industry thought it would be closer to 160. So coming in at 89, definitely there's no easy way to put it, but we missed the mark on that one. The silver lining in that, Chase, though, is based on the sales leading up to in the shipments, we are at the 10-year average as far as where we should be. We're at 85% sold as an industry, which is right in line with where we've been for the last 10 years. So this very low sales month did not set us behind yet.
No, that is a good point. I mean, we've had some strong performances year to date. We were able to build up enough of a cushion that when we do have a down month, we didn't fall behind. We're just back in line with the industry average. Well, you never want to see sales that low. We're not behind. No reason to sound all the alarm bells yet.
So, I mean, we might as well just keep it on this topic. We've seen the market be fairly quiet for a while now. A couple of reasons behind that. When the tariffs were still, well, they still are uncertain, but we're really uncertain. Then buyers kind of rushed in, especially in the European market, to get the crop that they needed right then to try to avoid that issue and ultimately cause the market to peak out. That really drove the prices up to where we saw the highest levels. After they were able to get the consumption they need, get the buying that they need, they kind of pulled back, which ultimately kind of opened the door for others in the market on the second hand, whether it be traders or what, to kind of come in and undercut the market a little bit. We did see that, which kind of caused an even more of a stall, where if California was at one price and then you can get on the secondhand market 5-10 cents cheaper, the buyers would do that and then they would wait, hoping that it wasn't going to be another 5 cents cheaper the following week. There was enough participation throughout the industry that did cause prices to slip that we've all seen. So right now, I think we're kind of, we're in a lull, but we have the objective right around the corner. Like never a dull moment in this industry.
No. And, sharing an office with you, I think we've definitely noticed that your phone's a little quieter, hasn't been ringing off the hook the way it normally does. With the objective on the horizon, it gets a little quiet. With an industry event that large, everybody just kind of sits back and wants to know what's going to happen.
I mean, ultimately, the objective is going to be what it's going to be. No one knows. The buying side is still under the impression that the crop is going to be a 2.8 to 2.9 in that realm. Where on the selling side is still in the 2.65 to 2.75 range. So there is a little bit of disconnect, which causes separation in pricing, buying pricing, selling pricing. So at this point, people are deciding to kind of put their chips on the table and see what that number brings in a couple weeks. If it comes in above 2.8 or higher, we will see some downward pressure. That's inevitable. But if we do see a 2.65, a 2.7, 2.75, we should see this market pick back up and hopefully pricing will rebound a little bit.
Speaking on the handler side, speaking for the growers, I think we're all hoping that the objective actually comes in below that 2.8 billion pounds. It does help the industry. It will help pricing. But really, there's no way to know where that objective will land. It's a bit of a wild card. So
it is a wild card, and the number is going to be what it's going to be, right, wrong, or otherwise, and that's nothing new. We deal with this every year, but nature of the beast. Once this number comes out, we really won't know what the crop size will actually be until we get into December, January, when the receipts are in the barn. So that's what we're going to have to live with. Whether it's good or bad, however you want to look at it, that's what we have to live with.
Regardless, if it is below 2.8 or above 2.8, I think the game plan doesn't change. We're still going to have to continue to sell the crop, continue to market the crop. And through that, you kind of get that organic growth and price increase.
Yep. Not the first time it's happened, not the last time it's happened. We'll get through it, but we'll see how it comes out.
No. I think that kind of wraps it up for the sales marketing side. What's happening in the industry? We talked about the objective just being on the horizon. The other thing that's just on the horizon is harvest.
Sure is.
2025 harvest is it's right around the corner. We're probably 5 weeks away or so, late July, early August. So I think with that, through the magic of editing, I think we'll swap you out, Kevin. We appreciate you for joining us.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you providing these updates. I think we'll bring in Mr. Drew Bond and see what's happening out in the orchards and what we have to look forward to. So,
all right, welcome, Drew.
With the snap of my fingers. Drew, welcome. I actually can't believe that worked. So
glad to be here.
Thank you for joining us on the podcast. I'm sure everybody knows, but Drew Bond, one of our grower reps and harvest coordinator here at Harris Wolf Almonds. Drew, we talked about harvest is right around the corner. So
coming fast.
Activities are starting to pick up out in the orchards. I know you were cruising around, taking a look at some stuff yesterday. What are you seeing out there?
Early stages of hull split and nonpareil and independence. The edges, nothing creeping towards the middle yet. Did see some spray rigs staging up along the west side. Guys are going to get on the NOW sprays and probably throw a miticide in some of these where some of the ranches are seeing some mite flare up.
All right. We'd love to see that. Anytime worms are getting sprayed, less serious damage here for us to contend with, better premiums for the growers. That's great.
Yeah. And then hopefully they're putting a little ant bait out there too.
Yeah. It's kind of the calm before the storm. So hull splits, insecticide sprays going out, ant treatments.
Floors are looking good. A lot of ranches I drove by yesterday, they were already floated out. So
yeah. Make sure your floors are clean, minimize any dirt deliveries here. Yeah, we're getting close. Before you know it, we'll be out collecting some moisture samples, bringing those in. I think we talked about this. We'll probably do a little standalone podcast, kind of give some harvest updates and as far as moisture parameters and quality, that kind of stuff. So
yeah, good to get information for deliveries out there to these growers.
Yep. So keep an eye out for that in the coming weeks. And then before you know it, the chaos will be here.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Once harvest hits, Drew may not look like it, but he turns into the Flash. I'll talk to him 1 minute and, he's in Madera and, next thing I know, he's down south, he's in Hanford, he's all over the place.
Yeah, cover a lot of ground during harvest.
Yeah. All right. No, getting close. So we look forward to it. We talk about how chaotic it is, but makes the day go by quick when you're moving around that much and have that much going on.
Yeah, I tend to thrive in that chaos a little bit better than I do in the calm. So
that's why you're well suited for the job, Drew. With that, I think we'll have another podcast come out before harvest. Have some more updates there, but appreciate you joining us. Appreciate you providing the update.
Always good to be here.
And Of course, we appreciate you folks watching. Thank you for watching the Almond Brief. If you like what we're doing, like what we're providing, please subscribe. Please like the content. With that, thank you.